Pisces, welcome back. The overall block is related to forward movement while someone else is kind of in a standstill position. As I did this reading, Pisces, about your love block, there was a vibe that there is love here. There's still love here, but having a hard time communicating how to heal these blocks and how to clear out the air. I'm speaking to a couple where you are likely not talking right now. You're limited in your communication if you're even speaking at all, but you both have each other on your mind and on your heart. That sounds like something that you're working through right now. Stay on. There's a placement out here for what this connection is, Pisces, between you and your person, what that overall block is. Then I have a placement out here for you, what's blocking you in love, what's getting in the way. And then also for this other person, this message will not resonate with everyone. It is not intended to resonate with everyone. It's a general reading, so take what's for you, leave what does not. You will know pretty soon in this reading if this message is for you. I don't want to waste your time, so please don't feel any pressure, my love cup, to make the message fit. That's not what this is for. It's just for whoever is needing to get a little bit more insight related to their connection. You will know if this message is for you. So again, the overall energy is related to the Chariot as well as the Hanged Man here. So you know the Hanged Man, Pisces, that is you in the tarot. And it's showing up as feeling like, and I say all of this tenderly, again, if this is not your message, know that you can click out of this, but I'm going to keep it 100 with you. It feels like there's something going on with you, Pisces, related to your heart or making decisions about what's good for you that's serving as a block. Whoever you are dealing with or were dealing with, it felt like they were willing to keep moving forward, moving on, even though in different ways, Pisces, they felt like you weren't exactly present in this connection. And I'll talk to you in just a moment a little bit about what that is related to according to the cards, but it just felt like, I mean, these energies are opposite of each other. There's one that's on conquest, it's forward movement. I'm going to move forward no matter what. And then there's another card, which is you in the tarot, that's like, I'm standing still. And in relationship readings, the Hangman is, I'm not moving no matter what. And so the block feels like it has been related to you and how you have been holding your space in this connection. But it feels like the person that you were dealing with or are dealing with, they've tried to move forward, but it feels like it got to a point, if you're separated right now, that they got to a point where they just didn't feel like they could move forward, or they didn't know how to move forward with that main block. Now, it is related to home in some way. The feeling of connection between the two of you, it could be a physical home, something that happened within this home that felt like a sense of betrayal. I'm getting the vibe of maybe having guests or company over at the home, or something related to family where there was some type of secret or something being kept private. And this is related to why that kind of standstill, no forward movement has happened. You know, the High Priestess is a suspicion card. You could also be dealing with someone who is a Cancer, because we have the Chariot and the High Priestess out here, but it feels like something related to the home. There was a deep suspicion or distrust. And then I also confirm that energy and have the Three of Cups out here, as well as the Page of Pentacles. So for someone in Pisces, it could have been you probably took a break in your relationship, and during that time that you all weren't dating, someone probably had another person that they were dealing with or loving on. And if that's not it, there was some type of other person that was in the picture in this connection, and it created a sense of loss of trust. Now, there's another thing too in terms of the overall block, Pisces, and it could be for the same person I'm speaking to, or this might be a separate thing, but there's a block related to money and distrust with money, give and take. It feels like, Pisces, the person that you were dealing with didn't feel like you were willing to give and be as giving in the financial department with your resources or with your time. And I'll show you more about what that looks like when I get over to your person. So I'm feeling that when I look at this page of Pentacles here, but it's kind of like this person in this connection felt like you probably had someone else, or probably had some confusing thing happening in the love department with someone else outside of the connection, and you were probably not as forthcoming with a clear apology or being able to clarify exactly what that was, okay? So when it came to the future, I asked God, angel, spirit guides, what's the future in this? And it, again, there's more related to like money and family and home, with the Queen of Pentacles here. That is the provider of the family, the being able to balance work and take care of the beautiful babies at home. And then there's, and then there is conflict here, okay? So with this situation, how it is right now, for those of you where you're thinking about getting back together, with how it's standing, there is conflict about how to continue to do family, how to continue to run your home. It just feels like there has not been any clearing out of that residual energy related to distrust in maybe a third party, as I described earlier, or distrust with something with money and a home. It just feels like there has been some type of deceit where someone in this connection, I think it's the other person here, they felt and are feeling unclear, and they feel a sense of deep betrayal and stress related to that. And it kind of feels like they've kind of gotten to a point where they're like, okay, I don't know what else I can do in this energy. I asked God, angel, spirit guides, because this felt like a choppy, kind of confusing energy that has layers of things that has happened, right? There are things related to, you know, wanting to be with someone else, maybe breaking up and being with someone else. Maybe there was just another person in the background, a friend who turned into a lover in the background. Then there are things related to money. So there are some layers of what feels like building blocks to a path of distrust that has happened over time. And so the overall message that I got here was related to communication, clear, direct communication. That in this particular connection was not happening. And if you are still with this person, it's not happening. And that feels like that is what could clear out this kind of, I'm going in this direction, I'm standing still in this direction energy. But that communication is not really there. It just feels like lack of clarity, and I'm in my mind so much. It created so much stress for someone in this connection until they just kind of became numb, or they just stopped being invested mentally and emotionally here. So then I come over to you and I ask God, angel, spirit guides to describe some of what these blocks are for you, Pisces. And the first card that popped out is ease and grace, and then it was in reverse. And so with that card being in reverse, it feels like there is not ease and grace. And it could be related to your heart, or it could also be that you have in your mind how this connection could go or should go, and you're strong in how you feel and in what you believe. Then we have no out here, and then there's cut the cords out here, and then clear, cancel, and release. It feels like, Pisces, if it was your person with the third party, with the not being willing to give and take, because I am sensing that it could be the other person too, that I'm channeling for through you. It feels like for those of you where that has been your experience, you know that deep down inside of you, you want someone who is trustworthy. You want someone who is a giver and potentially a provider in a connection. And these cords, these cords are so interesting. These cards out here feel like cutting the cord and letting it go, especially if it's not serving you. Now, another thing that I want to share for some of you out there is that the main block for you is that you're holding on tightly to what you think this connection is supposed to look like and how it's supposed to move forward. So this is spirit. This is being in a place of excited action. And then this is also moving and movement forward long term. And so that showed up kind of like in the resistance position for me, along with these other oracle cards I just described to you. So that feels like, again, kind of like this chariot energy, but not exactly being very thoughtful. It's just like, I'm going to do things my way. This is how a relationship needs to move forward without there being the communication that is needed. It just kind of feels like this is what I'm going to do to move forward. Now, with you and this other person in the past, this, again, another Cancer card, this felt like a great connection. Like we are on the same page. We are giving in a way that speaks to both of our love languages. We feel good in this connection. We are on the same page here. I'm giving you and you're giving me. It does not feel like it's inequitable. It feels equal in this relationship. And then also there is kind of like this ghosting energy on your side of things, Pisces. And then I also have more cards that kind of feel like, you know, not knowing if you're not feeling fulfilled in the connection, and then also possibly leaving the connection and maybe coming back to the connection. Also, these cards represent you in the tarot as well. So it just kind of feels like you have not even really been yourself in this connection. So in the overall connection, a block is related to communication, to get on the same page. But for you, I'm getting this vibe that you've been trying to carry on. You've been trying to show up as best as you can, but you are kind of like emotionally distant, with the Virgo card here, the Hermit card being out here, and those high 9 and 10 cup cards being upside down. It just feels like off balance in some interesting way. Also, this confirmed that energy for me too. This feels like it's related to you feeling like you are not shining, like you are not in your courageous, independent energy. So for you, it just feels like you're trying to sort out what it is that you really want. Again, in front of folks, maybe to this other person, you're trying to stay on the plan. You're trying to keep moving this forward, or at least give the appearance that you're trying to move it forward. But it feels like deep down, Pisces, you're in this other kind of hangman, hermit, you know, 8, 9 of cups in reverse, which all feels like that kind of subconscious. What is my true self right now? What is it that I really want? Am I really living what it is that I want? So it feels kind of like two parts of who you are showing up in this connection, Pisces. Now, the person that you're dealing with, and then beneath your deck is the 10 of Pentacles. And so this feels like it's related to you deeply wanting to have your legacy, your family, your home, all the things that you really enjoy. It's just for you, there's something not quite right. Another thing that's coming up, and I'll go over to your person, whoever this person is that you're dealing with, it feels like this person is like everything that a perfect partner could be. But Pisces, for you, something is just not right. It feels like this person would be someone that your mom, your dad, your cousin, your best friend, your homeboy would be like, yo, like that is the person on paper. And Pisces, you're like, yeah, you know, yeah, they are amazing. And then, but deep down on the inside of you, there's something else that you want. There's something else that you are curious about in your life, but it does not feel like that's exactly what you want. It's really all about you. So the person that you're dealing with, I asked God, angel, spirit guides about their blocks. Relationships popped up, and it says, I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. And what that feels like is that right now, this person feels like their energy is more on the defense, and it's more reactive to how you're showing up. And they're wanting a connection with you. And they're also based off of things that have been unfolding, the past stuff that's happened related to the layering of maybe some third party, you know, not being able to give as much time, kind of being distant in the connection. They're wondering if this connection is really going to serve their higher good. Opportunity and change here. So for those of you where you are disconnected right now, it feels like they're using this time to really consider if the time apart is healing for them, if it's actually good for them being apart, if they're able to sense fresh air by being separated from you, or do they want to figure out how to be with you and make this thing work? Loneliness popped out as well, and it says, I know that I am never alone. So with you having the Hermit here and then the reversal cards on your side, it feels like they were feeling the effect of maybe a little bit of coldness or a little bit of distance. Now, if this person was the one who committed the infidelity, if they were the lying, you know, they had two faces here, it just feels like they know that you're working through that, and they still miss you. Because I think that for some of you, this is kind of switched around. It's the other person where there was some lying and deceit. And I say that because their overall block is related to satisfaction as well. That 9 of Cups, they're wanting the abundance, and theirs is upright. Could be dealing with another Pisces. And then I confirmed that energy, and I got the Judgment here in the 6 of Pentacles. So this feels like give and take, like it's getting to a point where we have to decide, what is it that we really want, and are we really the best match for each other? Judgment comes out when it's like all has been said, every stone has been turned over, we've left no stone turned. And so now what are we going to do? Are we able to really give each other what it is that we really want from each other? In the past, it seems like there has been a lot of stress and burden. Again, this High Priestess card coming up, a lot of suspicion of you, suspicion about where you are putting your time. When you kind of went cold or distant, they kind of suspected that maybe you weren't being truthful about some things. This person is really wanting love in their life with the Ace of Cups here, and they're wanting to kind of come out of a time in this relationship or just in their life where they're feeling confused or rejected. They're really wanting to heal. And beneath their deck, I forgot about this card right here, it says learning experience. So I'm getting that vibe with them where they just want to use this, if they're walking away and if you all are separate, they're wanting to use this time to heal and come out of whatever this was. It feels like whatever this has been, it has been draining, and it has been stressful, and it's been emotionally and mentally painful, like a strong mental and emotional pull. And so not beneath the deck, but a couple more here, more deceit cards. And so it feels like this person is really at this point not trusting you, right? Whatever your distance is, whether it is related to all the stuff that I've listed, they're seeing it as you not completely being capable of being clear, honest, direct, and truthful right now. Now, I'm not saying that that's truth. It just feels like that's how they're perceiving you or perceiving this connection right now. Now, let's switch around the energies just for a moment. If you've been dealing with someone who has been kind of stingy with their money, not stingy with their time, there's been some third-party stuff, I would tell you, if you're dealing with that kind of person, this person is still not done. Okay? That would be the message there in that storyline. This person is still playing the magician, still has tricks up their sleeve. And if they're trying to, get back into your life or get you back, they're likely not exactly going to be showing up the way that they are saying they are. Now, that's a very specific message, because the stronger theme that I'm feeling with this other person is that they're distrusting that this connection can be a trustworthy, honest, healthy connection, given all of the stuff that they're assuming about you due to, the little bit of ghosting, going quiet, and the change of course that has happened with you, okay? And beneath their deck, something that could help them heal their block is a little bit of patience. So with you, Pisces, there's a whole story about what's going on with you, a whole plan, a deeper understanding. What's happening with you, Pisces, in this storyline is very innocent. And anything that we are working through in our connections like this, it usually is, but they're having a hard time seeing that. And I think, again, going back to earlier when I started sharing, it's related to a lack of communication. This person is kind of like in the dark about quite a bit. So I'm going to get some final archangel messages out here for you, Pisces, and then I will close this reading. I like to end with the prayer or the archangel messages, because when we're going through this stuff, it's pretty heavy. Like it's really intense. And as I did this as I did this reading, it felt painful. It felt like there was confusion and a sense of loss, and yeah. And so I wanted to get some messages out here to close this up for you, that maybe you can rest on some of these words, use these words to heal, or to help give you a sense of clarity about what it is that is going to be best for you moving forward. So the first one I'm looking at here says, keep your eyes on your targeted intention. That's very powerful. It says, thank you, Archangel Michael, for helping me focus on my inner vision and intention. I ask for your guidance in releasing any fears or doubts, granting me the confidence and courage to take action toward realizing my dreams. That's powerful. So with the energy that you're working through right now, this other person may not understand it right now, but some of that ghosting and walking away is because you have your eye on a prize. You're trying to get to something. This might be related to your career, or again, going back to what I shared earlier, this person just might be wonderful on paper, but they're just not what you really think is the best pick for you. Okay. What else here? Spend more time outdoors. This is powerful. Being outdoors definitely is healing. It says, thank you for motivating me to spend more time outdoors and for helping me relax and enjoy connecting with nature. And then this next one out here is innocence. I'm sensing that too. It's powerful. There's an innocence here. It says, dear God and angels, thank you for helping me see that all your qualities of pure love and light are reflected within me and all others. Help me embrace my God-given innocence so that I may be at peace. What you are after and how you're showing up, it is innocent. Now, it doesn't mean that it's not hurting the other person, you know, that's life. But cross-watcher, especially if you're watching this, I want to let you know that what Pisces is going through is very real. It's very innocent. And if they haven't communicated all of this, it's also because they're still working out how to communicate this. They're still making sense of what this is. Don't mean to speak for you, Pisces, but that is what is coming up very deeply and very strongly. Hey, look, I love you, and I hope that this reading offered some type of support or some type of solace. And I love you, I love you, I love you. And I hope to see you next week in another reading. Take care. Bye.